everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition. Today's Tuesday, right? A Tuesday edition of the Box Seats. Yeah, today is Tuesday. This week is going by real fast. Tuesday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder, sitting here with Talent and Fig, comedians you guys have known has been in the comedy business for a long time. They've been in comedy movies, specials, festivals, commercials. Did I forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything, right? Travel
movies, baby, TV
you
shows.
You forgot that it's Tuesday.
Yeah, that's the part I forgot. Tuesday. Now, normally every day I always get this show started off with the COVID report, and today's COVID report is brought to you by the Washington football team. Why? Because their quarterback got caught Sunday in a strip club without a mask. That's right. Believe it or not, quarterback Dwayne Haskins got caught in a strip club, if you could believe in this day and age, within a strip club, actually without a mask, and pictures, and it's all over social media. So that's today's COVID report. Because Talent, I'm gonna say this: with everything that's going on today, the audacity and the stupidity level of being in a strip club takes it to a new level. But even being in a strip club without a mask is obviously shows me that you don't obviously understand what's going on around here. And you put your football team in jeopardy just for a little bit of skin. You know what I mean? So I could say more, but I'll leave that to you comics.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's any club, you should have your mask off. It's probably going to be the strip club. That brother was balling out. No pun intended. Listen, man, I said the same thing, Frank. Looking at some people in the state of Georgia and Florida this week, and the carefreeness and the guard down, I don't know, man. I think our country's in a bad mental place, bro. I think a lot of us have protection fatigue, mask fatigue, social distance fatigue, to the point where they're going for it, man. They're taking chances. This is the quarterback.
Yeah, this is the quarterback. If something go down to Alex Smith, he's supposed to be the guy coming in, and they don't have nobody else. I'm like, I don't know. Fig, what's your thoughts when you hear that the quarterback of a football team, first of all, is football, and the team's already in jeopardy because it's football. He's in a strip club on Sunday night without a mask. He's putting his team in super jeopardy because the next morning, or actually Tuesday morning, he had to report and go to the quarterback room in the football team. I'm like, dude, really? I'm like, what's your thoughts?
Hey, man, I can tell you like this. First off, is the Washington football team going anywhere? I mean, they ain't going to win nothing. So he's like, you know what? We ain't going to win. I'm hanging out. And the problem is not the fact that these players, NBA and NFL, are going to the strip club. The problem is security at the door is not collecting these cell phones and allowing people to take pictures while they're ain't nobody got to tell on you, because a picture is worth 1,000 words, baby. You can't be taking no pictures at the strip club. I mean, years ago, a lot of years ago, a lot
you better clear that up.
When I was going to the strip club, they didn't let you take your cell phone in there.
You better clear that up. Now, I could bust you and say cell phones weren't invented that long ago, so you had to be recent.
Yes, they was. I had a flip phone with a camera on it.
Oh, okay. Clean that up. Anyway, let's jump into the football, man, and let's just get into some facts right now. Facts number one, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going in the wrong direction. They lost 3 straight now. Pittsburgh Steelers last night looked like they were playing one of the best teams in the NFL instead of the 2-10 Cleveland Browns. Now, I watched the game last night. Talent, I'm going to say this, throw this out there. Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are even going to do anything in the playoffs? Because remember I said this a couple of weeks ago, I said, and you guys made fun of me. I said, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be one and done in the playoffs. It's looking more and more like what I said is coming to fruition, because the team is going in the complete opposite direction. And they are going to make the playoffs, but every week they're dropping from one seed to the next if they keep continuing to lose. What's your thought process? You look at this Pittsburgh Steelers count.
I think you said something a couple of weeks ago when you said that did the league figure them out? Mm-hmm. I think they're figured out. And it's something simple as, hey, these guys don't really have a run game. Mm-hmm. They just throwing the ball. So how about We just always guard the pass and don't get tricked out with the potential run. So I think that's been figured out, because even the commentators, if you watch any post show and pre-show, everybody's saying the same thing. You take away the element of surprise when you don't have the other thing. It's like, if we used to have this joke in comedy about Chicken Wing. He got one arm, and he was a boxer. We were commentating the fight. Was like, and another right, and a right, and another right, and a right. Obviously, they're all going to be rights because you don't have a left hand. That's Pittsburgh right now. The running game left hand, you don't have it, so they're just looking at the right.
See, I said it weeks ago because of the simple fact, man. I was watching the game, and Pittsburgh didn't have a running game. They didn't have anything. Like, you could literally stop them. And if the team sits back and they know you're going to throw the ball all the time, Fig, tell me if I'm wrong, but if they know you're going to throw the ball all the time, they're going to be able to shut you down because they can they ain't got to worry about you running.
You can definitely shut them down, and let me tell you why. Fat Ben has regressed. You know, when Ben Roethlisberger came into the season, he was trim and slim. He was straight out of rehab, taking care of that elbow, that arm of his, and Ben looked good in the beginning of the season. As we go on through the weeks, Ben was eating a lot. He was getting some old-fashioned black cookout potato salad and a lot of it, big bowls. And now Ben has regressed to being fat burger, Roethlisberger. And here's the problem, because he's an aged quarterback, and because they don't have a running game, they're asking Fat Ben to throw the ball over 40 times a game, and he does not have the capability of doing that. As a matter of fact, most aged quarterbacks can't do what they used to do when they were younger and they first came into the league. But that is true for every man. Father Time is undefeated.
Listen, Pittsburgh has the worst offense in the last 3 weeks, believe it or not. They even worse than my beloved Patriots. Like, they literally can't even actually run the ball. They can't throw the ball. They can't do anything. With the worst offense in the last 3 weeks, but QB Ryan Finley of Cincinnati literally looked like an all-star last night. So I said it before, and I said it to get you as good as your QB can take you, but also you've got to be able to make sure that offense can move. Now let's talk about the Patriots, because I didn't talk about them yesterday, and certain people in our timeline who's commenting thought I was trying to omit. I was like, no, because it's just a big conversation. Now I'm gonna be honest, because you got to be a realist. Now I'm gonna throw this question out to you guys first and see what you guys think, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Cam Newton looks like he could be done for the season. The Patriots have put together their worst offense they've done in 22 years. The Patriots also have not had any great completion. They haven't thrown the ball to tight ends. They have no wide receivers. They have nothing. So my question to you is, challenge: do the New England Patriots bring Cam Newton back, or do the New England Patriots say, you know what, we're good, we're done? And then if they say that, does Cam Newton end up getting a job elsewhere? Three part.
I think they bring him back. Because you can't give all the blame to Cam. The fact that all your problems are not just quarterback problems, you bring him back and you fix and plug some holes, and then see what production you get out of. Because we've lived through a Cam, so we know what Cam is capable of and what he's not capable of. So we know he's not a bum per se, but he can have a bad bummy season like anybody else if you don't have things around him. I don't think your team is put together very well right now. I think you got a real mediocre at best team, and you throw in a little above average quarterback, all-star, if you will, Pro Bowler, and you say, hey, just get in there and fix it. Let's win. It's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, I agree with that part. And I'll tell you my thoughts in just a second. Fig, what's your thoughts?
The thing is that Cam never really was an accurate passer of the football. So I think it really depends on what kind of offense Belichick wants to put in for the Patriots. Because most smart teams, they build around the strengths of their quarterback. Patrick Mahomes could toss the ball around the field with anybody. But then you get a Lamar Jackson, not so much. So you build the team around the strength of Lamar Jackson. That's the same thing they did with Colin Kaepernick. the same thing that they did with other quarterbacks that are mobile and run the ball. Will they bring them back? That depends on what's out there and what Belichick can get on the cheap. Cam is not really, they gave him $1 million. I don't know how much, they'd be willing to give him, but who else could use a quarterback like Cam? Nobody else picked him up before the Patriots. So is he going to go be a backup somewhere?
Nope. No,
so I think it would be in the Patriots' best interest to possibly hold on to them unless they're going to go out there and try and get Carson Wentz or somebody like that. You're not going to pull nobody out of the draft and be better than Cam Newton. So
let me say this.
On, who they have available.
Let me say this. The New England Patriots had more opt-outs than anybody, combined with obviously injuries, combined with COVID, because the COVID hit the quarterback, and we all know, COVID is, Rodney Prairie has alluded to us several times. Once you get COVID and everything else, you're going to be different. So you got all those things combined up and everything else. All that happened within the season of the Patriots, and then of course for several weeks they were affected when they were trying to play Kansas City and stuff like that. They couldn't even practice. So they had a lot of issues right now, and the Patriots still were able to win 6 games. They could have won 10 because 4 games they were in, they could have won, but they lost. Like the Seattle game, Kansas City game, the Denver game. So I think, and I'm saying all this to say, I think Bill Belichick, he loves a running quarterback. I think Bill Belichick brings back Cam Newton to see, and unless 1 or 2 other things happen, which I'll say in a second, I think Bill Belichick gives Cam Newton 1 more extra season and sees what he actually has in-house after preseason, after a full season, summer camp, after all that beauty happens. Now, I say all that predicated on what happens with one other player, which I want to talk about now, and that's Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz right now is literally the guy who is going to be sitting there saying, I don't want to play for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to sit there and play for – and he's – right now, he put out a couple of words saying a couple of things like, he's not happy with coming off the bench. If Carson Wentz becomes available, I wouldn't be surprised if Carson Wentz landed in New England. I wouldn't be surprised if he landed in Denver. I wouldn't be surprised if he landed anywhere. It's just going to be who's going to want to take that $25 million cap hit. Now, I'm asking you this, Talent. The news was released last night that Jalen Hurts is going to start with the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. With that being said, does Carson Wentz end up staying in Philadelphia, in your opinion? And does Philadelphia say, you know what, you're going to have to sit here and take that? Or do they let go of Carson Wentz in the offseason because they can't do anything with him during the season? They got to trade him if they're going to trade him during the offseason. They have to. So if they want,
I mean, you asked me this before. I said they're going to sit him down and keep him. Mm-hmm. I don't see them trading him and getting rid of him. I think you let them take that. People who fail need these things to get better. To become a success, you sometimes need a check. You know what I mean? He's getting his check right now. You sit down, and now we're going to use another part of you because you're supposed to be this good quarterback. So even if you're not out there trying to throw in this TDs versus interceptions, let's use your quarterback brain right now on the sideline helping your teammate because we're about winning. I seen a statement released by Philadelphia, and the head coach was like, look, there's no beef between the quarterbacks. They understand that it's a team thing, and we're trying to figure this thing out to win. It's not about winning with you or winning with you. Whichever one wins with us, we got to go with what's working. What team is not doing that, right?
Right. I agree with you. But yesterday when I asked you this question, Jalen Hurts was not decided yet of being starting quarterback this weekend. It hadn't been decided yet. Remember I told you Philly was going to be in the upfield. Now, today, as of literally 12 hours, maybe 24 hours later, the head coach has made a decision. Jalen Hurts is our QB. Fig, with the decision being made that Jalen Hurts is a QB, I think it sends a message throughout the entire team. We are trying to win today. We're not trying to figure out what's wrong with Carson Wentz just yet. We're trying to win today, and we have a better possibility of winning with Jalen Hurts right now in Philadelphia. What's your thoughts, Fig?
The thing is that I don't know if another team is going to pick up that salary. At the very least, I think it's $25 million.
It's $25 million this year and $15 the year after.
And but I mean, the money is guaranteed. So that is major for Philly to sit a guy down $25 million a year. That's a major amount. I mean, maybe if you could get a team to just absorb some of it, and Philly pay a portion of it, maybe it'd be worth Philly to get rid of him. I don't see how they can, or does a team like Carson Wentz enough to be able to pay him that amount of money? What I think, another thing that we didn't mention, what I think New England might do on the quarterback tip, Belichick really liked Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think San Francisco is ready to get up off of him.
Yeah, but the difference is the situation in Philadelphia is being forced to the forefront. San Francisco, they still sitting there deciding, they're not just sure yet. You know what I mean? So that's not necessarily as pressing. Philadelphia is pressing. Dak Prescott and for Dallas Cowboys, that's pressing now. You know what I mean? If management makes one decision one way or the other, these quarterbacks fall to the open market, so to speak. You know what I mean? And then teams could be in play. I never even mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo because right now he's hurt and San Francisco hasn't made it so-called officially known that Jimmy G is going to be on the open market. We know Dak Prescott right now is dealing with obviously being franchised, and you also know since Doug Peterson is sitting up there, he has a coach. He has a serious quarterback situation right now going on Philly, and the entire city of Philadelphia is going behind Jalen Hurts right now. But the funny thing is Carson Wentz does not suck. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, he don't suck. You know what I mean? It's not like it's one thing if your quarterback suck. So if Carson Wentz lands in Denver, that's John Elway's team. Correct me if I'm wrong, Talent. If he lands in Denver, we should see some changes immediately because Denver has an offensive line. They got wide receivers, and they literally can be right back in the mix of things in the AFC with just one extra quarterback player movement. And Philadelphia's acting like Carson Wentz sucks. He doesn't suck.
Well, you might want to take that first. You might want to go to Fig first because I think he sucks.
Okay.
I think Carson Wentz sucks. I mean, at this position, I can only give you 50 to 100 chances, man. I've watched this guy blow a lot of chances in the last 3-4 seasons. Like, if you take away his name and credibility of what you had perceived of him coming into the league doing, and he just came in like a nobody, you would say he sucked.
Okay, Talent, I 100% disagree with you because if he sucked, he wouldn't have a $100 million contract. He sucked.
No, anybody could look good for a period of time and get a lot of money. We've seen it done.
Yeah, but you can't look
good.
Am
I right, Frank? You can look good for a certain amount of money. Timing is everything. If it happens at the right time when you look good, you get a lot of money, Frank. He's not the only one robbing the league.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll throw it to Fig because I'll say this. If you suck, you don't look good at all. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have those moments you look good.
No, you can suck. Frank, I can see you in 88 and you have a good season. I can see you in 90, 89, 90, 91, and you suck now.
Yeah, but that's 3 years of sucking and 1 year good. That means you suck overall.
So that makes you suck.
Yeah, but Carson Wentz, out of 4 years, he had 2.5 years where he was good. And he had the year he literally took the Eagles almost to the Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong. If he hadn't got injured, he would have been the QB for the Super Bowl. And we probably would have won, and he was MVP conversation. Now, listen, I am not a Philadelphia Eagles fan at all. So I don't know. But I just think he doesn't suck. I think he's okay. You know what I mean?
Listen, the fact that he was injured, I think what it did to him, I think it got to him psychologically, and he seems like a shell-shocked quarterback. Now, add to the fact that he's really he's also injury-prone. It makes it very difficult to pay an injury-prone quarterback a lot of money. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's taking so many hits in Philadelphia, he's like a deer in headlights when he's back there. So he cannot perform at his optimum level because he seems like he's back there motivated by fear. And we know that fear,
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? That you can't win and be afraid at the same time. So
yeah, I agree with that.
I think a lot of that is on Carson Wentz, and that is his makeup. And everybody says the best ability is availability. And I don't remember, but out of the 4 years he's been in the league, I don't think he's played an entire season once.
See, he got supplanted by a lot of injuries and stuff like that. But he has quick feet because he's been getting hit. He ain't got a great offensive line.
Happy feet.
Yeah, he keep getting hit. So that if you can hit the quarterback a couple of times, that changes everything. But speaking of quarterbacks, let's talk about Mitch Trubisky, because Mitch Trubisky right now, I saw them debating this morning. They think that obviously the Chicago Bears are not going to bring him back. They're saying that he could, he has potential to be somewhere and be really good. Now, when you say suck, I think Mitch Trubisky sucks. I will put it out there, talent. I have not seen that dude play 12 good games yet. I haven't seen it. So that's my opinion. Now I'm gonna throw it out to you and say, because we talk about suck. Carson Wentz is way better than Mitch Trubisky. If you put Carson Wentz on the Bears, you see where I'm going with this? It's a complete different. You saw.
No. Right. Until you show me this dude play and consecutively win like he did in the beginning. He looked very viable in the beginning, Frank. He was no different than a Dak Prescott. Matter of fact, they were comparing them together. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, my God, look at the footwork of Wentz and Dak Prescott and blah, blah, blah. There was a season of that shit. Right after that, not even a complete one, when he got injured, he was done. You haven't seen this guy play good, quality, consistent football since. I don't know how long you give people, Frank. But let me put it to you this way. If he was a woman and he was in his house and he ain't clean his house in that amount of time, not only does he suck, he got to get the F out of this house.
Yo, Jalen, I thought you was going to say if she sucks, then she can stay.
It's a family show.
It's a family show. Damn.
What did I say?
Nothing. Go ahead. What you think?
Man, listen. I don't care what you say. I don't care what team you put Mitch on. His name is Mitchell. And you cannot win if your quarterback is named Mitchell. I don't care what nobody say. Mitchell needs to be in the basement at a basement party with the red light on, dancing from way back in the day. You cannot win. Tell me one person that has ever done anything in sports with the name Mitchell.
Fake. So you seriously think, you think that Mitch Trubisky is a bum, or you think he's a good quarterback? Answer that question for real.
I don't think he's that good. Look, I'll put it to you this way. He's a game manager. Mm-hmm. So if you put all of the requisite pieces around him, he can manage you into some wins. If he has to carry a team, he's not that guy.
Okay. Let's continue this big thing rolling on. We got to talk about the NBA, because the NBA season kicks off tonight. I want to just throw this first quick story out there, and then I want to talk about a couple other things. First quick story is that Adam Silver has acknowledged the possibility of expanding the NBA with possibly 2 to 4 NBA teams. I think it's a good move. I think he's expedited the process because of what's happening in the pandemic, and the NBA is losing money compared to overall everybody else. They're not generating enough money in the NBA. I don't even think if the pandemic hadn't hit, he wouldn't even be talking about it. So that being said, we are looking at opening games tonight, town. Opening games tonight. KD, and everybody circled this game on their calendar. I know I'm one of them. KD and the Brooklyn Nets are facing the Golden State Warriors tonight. It would have been a much better game to me if Klay Thompson hadn't been injured. I would have really been excited to watch that. But I'll throw this out to you, talent. KD is with the Nets and everything else. Is it a Nets or bust? Because this is the question they said this morning. Nets or bust for the Nets NBA season, NBA Finals, or bust for the Brooklyn Nets, or not?
I don't agree with that. I hate that people do that. That's what happened to the Clippers last year.
Yeah.
You put this surmountable amount of pressure on these guys, and everybody went into damn near depression. Stop that. That's mental health right there. Listen, I think that all we can expect is to see the best out of the injured guys that return. Are they the amount of money spent to put this team together? Should they be a contender? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Should they be in that ranking of playoff teams, top 5 out of the 10 that you're going to pick? Absolutely. Do you put a championship or bust on them? That's not only is that a jinx, it's kind of a disrespect. I don't think so. I think if they go to the playoffs, Frank, and they get, let's say, past the first round and get into the second round, I think that's an achievement like a mug for the Nets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. I have to agree with that. Fig, Nets or bust for the final NBA Finals?
No, man, because you got Kyrie and KD. First, KD coming off what could quite have possibly been a career-ending injury. He's just because this is his first year coming back off of that. Kyrie is coming back off of injury. Kyrie is proven to be injury-prone over the last few years. If they're all healthy, I think they do have the potential of making it to the finals, especially coming out of the East. But I wouldn't say that they have to in order for this season to be successful. Now, if they stay healthy all the way through this season and they make it into next year, the pressure would definitely be on them.
Right.
And you also have the fact that this team hasn't had an opportunity to gel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now I'm gonna circle back and come back to a couple of teams or bust, NBA Finals or bust, because there are a couple of teams that literally I think are up there and they got to make it to the NBA Finals or it's gonna be some serious hell to pay. But the reason why I want to stop for a second is because Kawhi Leonard made a statement last night. It's not all over the press. I think it should be. And I think it should be everywhere. Kawhi Leonard literally said he's going to nix the player option next season. After the season, going to the next season, he's going to nix the player option, but it does not mean, according to his words, it does not mean that he will not return to the LA Clippers. Now, I don't know about you, but in the past history of Kawhi Leonard, when he says that means he's out. Now, he did it for the San Antonio, he did it to Toronto, almost the same identical quote, and now he's saying the same thing literally for the LA Clippers. Now, I think he's out, whether they win or lose. That's what I think. Because I think he likes going from team to team to team, and I think he likes that. I don't think he likes sitting in one space. But that's my thought process. Talent, when you hear Kawhi Leonard saying he's going to nix the player option, should LA Clippers management be nervous? What you think?
No, I mean, you knew when you was dealing with Kawhi, you had a very special character. Everybody else is using Sharpies, he's using crayons. You understand what I'm saying? So anything he's saying, you can't really take, you got to take it with a grain of salt because Kawhi is special. He's different. Like, he's not your average guy. You know when Kyrie says something, you know how to take it. Right. KD, you know how to take it. LeBron, you know how to take it. Kawhi, you just sit there like this.
Mm-hmm.
And hope you be like, this is where your grandmother come in and go, God bless his heart.
Mm-hmm.
He's so special. Don't know. So you don't know if he's saying something like to make them, like you said, it should be everywhere. You just don't know.
Yeah, I gotta take that.
I don't take it too serious.
Bro, I'm with you on that. Fig, when you hear Kawhi say that, everything else, what's the first thought that goes through your mind, knowing his past history?
I'm not going to put his past history into it, but the thing that I'm thinking is that maybe Kawhi wants to renegotiate his contract. I think all along his intention was to get to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know he wants to win, but I think his main focus was to get to Los Angeles and play in his hometown. So for that reason, I'm not really sure. I don't really see him leaving. With one caveat: if LeBron James leaves the Lakers, Kawhi Leonard might switch over to the Lakers. I see that as a potential. But for him to leave Los Angeles altogether, I don't think he's leaving LA.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think if you notice the timing of when he says that, the Knicks think that's the end of next season, and LeBron's contract literally being his last year. AD got a couple years to go. I think he'll be looking at it like, you know what? If LeBron's getting ready to leave out of the Lakers, I can step right in. I could be the man for LA, and then I could be with AD. I think that's what his thought process is. Because I think the reason his hometown. You know what I mean?
I think the reason that Kawhi didn't go to LA is I didn't think he really wanted to play with I didn't think he wanted to be a teammate of LeBron.
Yeah, I think so too.
But AD is a different story.
Yeah, but AD is a different story, and he's also at home in LA. I think he would stay in LA. I think that's the thing. I think he wants to play for the Lakers eventually, but he just don't want to play with LeBron. And maybe because of the way everybody treats LeBron, and he's not up there on the same level with LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we could talk about that and debate about that for years because we all know he's just as good in the same conversation as LeBron, but he's not even having those kind of conversations in the media. Maybe he doesn't like that. But let me talk to you about somebody else. The rookie who got drafted this year, named Anthony Edwards for Minnesota Timberwolves, people out in Minnesota right now, talent is saying this dude literally, it could be a bust. And Minnesota is not happy with his playing and that he's been playing at home and the way he's been playing in the preseason. And all eyes are on him right now, starting the season out. And now I haven't seen him play because I don't think Minnesota's even been on TV because their market's so small. I think, you know what, Minnesota, we're not putting them on TV. I haven't seen him play. I haven't seen a clip, nothing. But if that is true and that is a possibility, what do you think Minnesota's thinking about talent? That this dude is, if this dude is a bust?
Let me tell you something. It's Minnesota. Like, nobody cares. Like if you diss me because I'm not playing good at practice, I'm gonna diss you because you're Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, oh, you a bust. I'm like, so this is Minnesota. If any place I can be a bust right now,
mm-hmm.
is in Minnesota. I mean, everybody wants their picks to be what the reason they picked them for. Mm-hmm. You know, I've seen you do this in school. I'm getting you because I want you to do that. Then you come to the NBA. Didn't we just talk about this yesterday?
Yeah.
You go from young man to grown man league, things are done different.
Yeah.
Now in this sport, Fig, I feel different than I do about football. You know what I mean? Those young cats coming into football, they're gonna be a little speedier and a little craftier because they're younger, they weigh less or whatever. Basketball, that b-ball IQ is everything.
Yeah, I agree.
You could be the speediest. What's my man? Speedy Claxton. You could be Speedy Claxton out there.
Yeah.
But if your basketball IQ does not match whatever that thing is that people drafted you for, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb.
Hey, Fig, if this dude is a bust, does Karl Anthony Towns demand a trade to get out of Minnesota?
I think Carl was trying to get out of Minnesota anyway because it's cold. It's freezing in Minnesota. I think the summer times it's like 30 degrees.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Hey man, the most popular listen, Minnesota is not popular at all. You know what I mean? Soda, CNC is more popular. CNC soda is more popular than Minnesota.
Actually, it got popular, but for the wrong reasons, you know.
Right. And this is a kid show, so keep it moving.
Yeah, well, grocery store soda is more popular than Minnesota.
Yeah, but
how about that? Yeah, man, I don't know if this kid is a bust or not, or maybe it's Minnesota.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing: when you got a young player, the one thing that the NBA has that other that football, the NFL doesn't have, they got the G League. There's a lot of players that made the roster. They went down to the G League. They played. They got their game up. You know what I mean? And then they were able to come back, to the team like later on. So maybe this kid needs to go and spend days down in the G League and get his rhythm and his game up.
Let me just end this part by saying, when I said Kawhi is good as, he's in the same conversation as LeBron. Kawhi is not that much lower than LeBron. Somebody said something like they questioned that, so I'll put that out there and say Kawhi is in the same conversation. Kawhi is a good player. He's a very, very good player. I will leave this with you. Leave you all with this before I bring in Rodney Prairie. James Harden is now not going to be part of the Miami Heat because Miami Heat has now said that they no longer want to be part of trying to get James Harden because it looks like obviously that the Houston Rockets are asking for too much. So Miami Heat has backed out of that. They're like, you know what? We're out. We're good. Now it would have been dangerous to see them, see him in Miami. I will give you that talent. But it would have been really interesting to see what Miami had to give up to get him. I didn't think it was going to happen. I think it probably would happen with Brooklyn, but there's issues happening here. So what do you think is going to happen, Ben? What do you think the James Harden situation is going to be as of right now? What do you think?
I think he's going to sit his ass right where he's at. Yeah. I think they're going to change the cushion on that chair, and they're going to say, this is the best we can do. Sit your ass on the chair. Nobody want to get the house up for you. I think that's what's going to happen. He's not going anywhere. I mean, when you bring up Miami, I totally washed that away in my brain because certain teams, they worked hard to get where they are, camaraderie-wise, and got that team thing going. I see him like you guys see Kyrie. I see him as a disruption.
Mm-hmm. I think so too, and I think he literally ruined his basically his value by keep demanding. He ruined his value. You'll go into the trade. Fig, what you think?
And man, I agree with both of you guys, man. I think he ruined his value. I think he's a prima donna. And I don't like his brand of basketball. Now, am I saying that James Harden is a bum? Not even close. I think he's a superstar talent, but his brand of basketball does not work for winning. It's exciting. It's gonna put behinds in the stands, but for winning, never worked. It didn't work for Michael. You know what I mean? It didn't work for MJ when you had a ball and most of the time and you scoring and stuff like that. And Mike even wasn't on the level of James Harden, man. It just doesn't work, man. You got to, if you want to win, you got to get the others involved. The others have to feel like they're an integral part of the team in order for that team to win. I mean, when you pass the ball, guys play harder on defense.
Yeah,
pass the ball, guys run the floor harder. His brand of basketball doesn't work, and I'm not sure. I think it would be a dumb idea for any team to get rid of most of their roster or a good portion of their roster to acquire James Harden. I think it wouldn't work for Miami because they got to give up too many good pieces to get him. I don't think it'd work for Philly because Philly got to give up too many good pieces to get him. And it damn sure wouldn't work for Brooklyn because those young ballers be balling now. You know how many the salaries have to match.
Right.
You know
there's only one place that makes sense. There's only one place that makes sense. If you trade him to the Rucker Park.
Rucker? There you go.
That's it. Yes.
I got to say, before I bring in Rodney Prairie, let me say this real quick. Keontae Johnson, the college basketball player who collapsed last week, got released from the hospital about an hour ago. So congratulations on him.
Thank God for that.
I'm really happy about that. Let's bring in and it looks like he's doing well. So all his faculties and everything else will work. Let's bring in Rodney Prairie with the segment called I Agree. Actually, I Disagree is what the segment is really called. So Rodney Prairie, how you doing this morning, bro? And I'm going to put you on full screen so we can see you completely. So there you go. And he sniffed.
I'm listening to the show, man, and I'm stricken with post-nasal drip. But it was just so much wrong. Y'all started off talking about Dwayne Haskins at the strip club. So what? So what? Dwayne is let the man go to the strip club. He ain't even playing no more. They stopped even being in the same room with him 3 weeks ago. Let the man go, enjoy himself because it's over. I didn't even know his last name to the day. Dwayne who? I thought he was Dwayne The Rock Thompson. Pittsburgh is like everybody else. Pittsburgh was eking through. They was beating people. They was winning close games. But guess what? It's like we always say, the NFL got tape on your ass. They will come and get you.
Homework.
NFL got tape. Carson Wentz. I think Fig said it best. Carson Wentz been eating a little bit. He's a little robust. He's a little thick over there with some husky jeans on. All right. I'm sorry. Not Wentz. Brocksburg. My apologies. Carson Wentz. Somebody said, "How you doing, Sheena Gibson?" Somebody said, and maybe I heard this wrong, that Carson Wentz doesn't suck.
I said it.
Oh yeah, I knew somebody said it. Okay, let's go with what Carson does suck. He sucks small. He sucks up way too much Philly air. And he sucks ass. Carson sucks ass. He's a world ass. He's a sucker. And he's all other words that go with suck. He not only sucks, he slurps, he guzzles.
Thank you.
Oh, but Trubisky sucks. Yes, Trubisky sucks. Trubisky been sucking, and you can flip-flop them guys all day, and they still gonna suck. Trubisky need to go sit down somewhere and buy a car dealership and sell cars. I believe we stuck an analogy right here in the show. You got to be able to claim the house or. Oh, that was beautiful. We segues over the basketball. Is it a chip or bust for KD and the Nets? Yes. It's a chip or bust for everybody in the NFL and NBA. Beginning of the season, you don't start playing the season hoping you're going to make the playoffs, first round, get out of there. It's always chip or bust. And if you KD, Kyrie, and everybody been waiting on your monkey, yes, it's chip or bust. Ain't no next year. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. Oh, my glasses.
Here come the glasses.
They find them. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm the only one that knows what's going to happen in the future.
Uh-oh.
Then y'all brought up y'all like to pull the old Clippers out your ass. Y'all said old Kawhi. If can't get right loses,
Can't get right.
that's what I call them. Can't get right. If can't get right, losing some game. Let me let y'all know. Can't get right is out of the LA. I don't care about his cousins, his grandmother. He's still getting everybody tickets anyway. It's hard to you know, can't get right is out. I'm not gonna exercise my option, but I ain't gonna leave. You're a damn lie. Your ass is out. You ain't fooling nobody. Can't get right. Tyler took the liberty of calling the man special. He might be on the spectrum. And from what I understand, it's absolutely true that he signed his contract in crayon. But then the blasphemy came out of Frank Holder's mouth. But Kawhi just as good as LeBron. And then he just moved away from it like I can't hear. You telling me LeBron James ever got to the playoffs and did not play? 10 seasons over. How the hell we even still putting this man's name can't get right in the same sentence with LeBron James? I understand that LeBron James may never be a Michael Jordan, but he is 5 Kawhi Leonards. 5 of them. I said and I said again. I'm almost done. James Harden. This is what we got to wrap our mind around. James Harden's play is also a product of D'Antoni. D'Antoni is gone. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's going to affect, we might see a whole new James Harden. I think he's jumping the gun trying to get out of Houston. I think he should stay. He should figure it out. And I mean, this dude, man, I mean, I like James Harden, man. He produces 30 points. He seems like a nice guy. People like him. When you hear people talk about him around the league, they like him. As Tyler said in analogy number 2, they might have to change their cushion and tell James Harden to sit his big fat beard down. He hasn't really his value. And then, just when I thought nobody else would say nothing absurd, I believe it was Mr. Fig. Old Figman Freud. Well, James Harden James might be better than Mike. Mike who?
I didn't say that.
You did.
I didn't say better than Mike.
You did, Fig. We got the tape. Roll the tape. Oh, we got the tape. People was listening.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I said Mike who? Maybe he talking about Michael Thompson. Maybe he talking about Michael Jenkins. Maybe he talking about Michael that I played football with on the Carroll Bulldogs in 1988. Maybe he talking about that Michael. Michael Chisley. I'm sorry. Michael Chisley, was that you? You know Fig? You know Fig, Michael Chisley? I know who we weren't talking about, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, everybody, that's your boy Rodney Prairie with this segment called I Disagree. We got to keep the show rolling on. Fig, you got to get ready to do the top dogs. Fig, you ready for the top dogs, man?
Man. Let's get in this early.
It's the Christmas week. You know, we got to get ready to get the top dogs in. We got to get it. That's Rodney Prairie, y'all. Thanks, Rodney Prairie, for the I Disagree segment. Fig,
Take me out.
Fig, it's time for the top dogs. The screen's all yours, boy. Look it up.
Listen, if y'all ready for the top dogs of the week, I know it's early, but let me hear you, ball, baby. Number one on the top dog list, I had to give it to my man Justin Herbert of the LA Chargers because he came in there and he did his thing over the LA Raiders, passing for 314 yards, 2 touchdowns. This kid even ran for a touchdown and beat the Raiders 30-27. Nobody saw that coming. I think we all bet against the Chargers, baby. Number 2 on my list, listen, you know I got to give it to Mr. O. Henry. Remember the Titans, baby. This man was doing the damn thing last week, and he ran for 147 yards and 1 touchdown. But along the way, he manhandled the defense with a stiff arm. You know that's going to make Sports Center, baby, with the stiff arm, throwing the man out of bounds with 1 arm. My man, Derrick Henry, is a man amongst boys. He's that dude. Number 3 on the list, I got to give it to my man, Mr. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Over 243 yards passing, 3 touchdowns over the Jaguar in a rout, 40-14. And you got to give it to Lamar Jackson because he's fresh off the doo-doo game that he played last week when he had to take a break and run to the bathroom. We got to give it to my man, Lamar Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, also I got to give it to the old man himself, Mr. Tom Brady, the AARP quarterback, a tale of 2 halves. Tampa Bay over the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay was getting beat down in the first half. As a matter of fact, Tampa Bay didn't even score in the first half. And then he came back after being scoreless and threw for over 390 yards, 2 touchdowns, keeping the Tampa Bay Bucks in the playoff hopes in a 31-27 squeaker just over the Atlanta Falcons. Number 5 on my list, ladies and gentlemen, I got to give it to my homeboy, Mr. Patrick Mahomes, in the shootout against the New Orleans Saints, baby, winning 32-29 the Kansas City Chiefs. My homeboy passed for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now I got a bonus for you, ladies and gentlemen. The one bonus, I got to give it to that Lilliputian, the small Mighty Mouse quarterback, Mr. Kyler Murray of the Cardinals, crushing the Eagles 33-26. Kyler Murray threw, ladies and gentlemen, get this, 406 yards and 3 touchdowns. I had to add a little extra and give my man Kyler Murray a little love. And that's our top dogs for the week. And if you like the top dogs, let me hear your ball.
All right, y'all. That was the top dogs. That was fake. You know, we got to keep the show rolling on. We got maybe time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. And I want to see if I can squeeze in this last thing because we're talking about the NBA. The NBA is kicking off tonight. 2 things. 1, Eric Bledsoe going to the Clippers from the Pelicans looks like it could be a possibility, even though he already got traded one time. Talent. If Eric Bledsoe gets shipped again, except this time from the Pelicans to the Clippers, do you think that gets the Clippers over the top, or do they not need him, or are they good?
Man, if they ship me again, man, I'm just going to quit the league because, how many times can I repack this bag?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how many times can I repack this same carry-on luggage? Now, if the man got a family, I'm gonna find me some like Rodney said, man. I'm gonna open a car wash, because I can't keep doing this. I don't know, man. He's not a game changer to me. He's a solid player, and if you have if you have a hole in that position, he's a perfect plug for your hole. But is he the guy that changes the element of your team structure? I don't put him as that guy.
Real quickly, Figures, do you agree or disagree?
I don't think that Bledsoe is a game changer. I mean, maybe they could use him for something at the Clippers. You know what I mean? But he's not a game changer to me. I like him as a serviceable player, but a game changer, no.
Okay. Last question. Who do you guys think is going to win the NBA championship since the NBA is kicking off the season tonight? It's real early predictions. We made some predictions a couple of weeks ago, who we thought and everything else. So I guess the thing is, the Lakers are heavily favored, not just favored, they're heavily favored to repeat. So, Talent, who do you think is going to win the NBA championship at the end of this season?
I'm going back with the Clippers.
Ooh.
I'm going with a team with the most approved, the team that's probably was the most embarrassed, most let down. The fact that they went out and doubled down and re-upped on like a Paul George and other players. I think they mean business.
So you think the Clippers will beat who in NBA Finals? Who would come out of the East?
I think in a perfect storm, you got your Clippers meeting up with probably Milwaukee or the Nets.
Okay. So, Fig, what do you think? Who do you think's going to win the NBA championship? Who do you think
Talent almost called my pick, man. I'm going out on the limb, and I'm giving it to the East, and I'm going provided. This is my one little caveat. Provided that they stay healthy, I'm giving it to the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm going to tell you why. Them guys that they got with Kyrie and KD are ballers. And they all could shoot the outside, and they all could get their own shot. Those guys made it to the playoffs without Kyrie and KD. And I think Kyrie and KD healthy is enough to get the Brooklyn Nets over the hump, and they either play the Clippers or the Lakers in the finals.
I think the Lakers are going to make it to the finals, and I think they're going to probably lose to the Brooklyn Nets. That's my pick. And
you see the Lakers getting back to the finals?
Yeah, I see because the additions they made to the team. I see the Lakers go. Montrezl Harrell's the sixth man of the year. He's gonna help them do a whole lot of work. The other big they got Gasol. He's a much better passer and he can shoot. He can stretch the floor. Yeah, I see the Lakers actually beating the Clippers to get to the finals. And like Fake said, if Brooklyn is going to be healthy, they are going to be hellified to beat. Because the way they destroyed the Celtics, the way they destroyed all the teams in the preseason, and the way they move the ball, bro.
And I'll tell you this, and another reason why they got that I like this kid, this young dude, the center, Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, him too.
And then they got DeAndre Jordan coming off the bench,
and
as their bigs. And these dudes are formidable. Like Jarrett Allen is a night. Like you don't need these dudes to score. All you need them to do is to play defense and the rebound. Because you got enough scorers on that team. I'm telling you.
Listen, Brooklyn, there's a storm brewing in Brooklyn. That's all I know. There's a storm brewing.
No, not really.
Brooklyn, and I love it, but I'm still a Knicks fan.
But listen, you guys are fairy telling a championship with the cartoon versions, of the players. If we deal with the reality versions, the real versions of the players, he mentioned DeAndre Jordan. He ain't gave you a full healthy season.
None of them have. So, but we said again. We said at the beginning, if they healthy, if it could be healthy, we said that. It's the caveat.
He's not a starter though, Talent.
Yeah. You know what? If I could build another part of this house going back, same size, I could have a mansion. Nigga.
That's the show, y'all. That's the show.
Wait, already?
That's the show. That's the show. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Hey, follow your boy on Twitter at It's Just Comedy, Facebook, King Talent Harris, and you know how we do on Instagram, Talent the Comedian, every day, all day. So I get that. What up?
I be dropping jewels on Facebook and Comedian Fig. You can check me also, a comedian figure, on all social media platforms. I might be hanging out with that dude. That dude right there, Talent. Or maybe hanging out with Rodney Prairie. Or I'll be talking to Frank on the phone. Or what you can do, you can check me out Monday through Friday on the box seats, 1 to 2 p.m., baby. Because this is how we do it.
Hey, y'all, this is the show called The Box Seats. I'm Frank. That's Talent. That's Fig. We're on every Monday through Friday from 1 to 2. The show is called, again, The Box Seats on an app, and you're on the channel called The Humor Mill, the only urban comedy channel out there. You can obviously download the app. You can tell your friends, tell a friend, or you can call your cable service provider, get them to add the channel too. You can do all that. This week is Christmas week. Tomorrow is our last day for the week. We are going to do our picks and all that. And then some to get our picks in for the week because, that's what we got to do. And, of course, next week we're going to have some guests. Tomorrow's conversation will continue with, of course, the NBA games happening tonight. And we are going to see what happens with this Jalen Hurts situation coming out of Philly. All that and then some on the box seats. We'll see y'all tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel.